Hey Scrabble fans, Will here with another episode of Better Know a Letter. Today we're going to get to know the O. There are 8 O's in the set of 100 Scrabble tiles, and they're worth 1 point apiece, just like the other vowels. Overall, the O seems to be a decent bingo tile, appearing in 37.8% of 7 and 8 letter words, placing it in the top third of all letters. However, it's more helpful to compare the O to its vowel peers. When we look at just the vowels, the O looks a bit less appealing. While you'll definitely be able to bingo with the O much of the time, you'll almost always prefer the A, I, and especially the E for this purpose. In part, this is because the O just isn't included in any of the most common inflections seen in longer words. The E appears in ERS, IER, IEST, and ED, and the I appears in some of those same inflections as well as ING. The O, on the other hand, only appears in less frequently seen prefixes like out and over, which contain weaker bingo letters like the U and V. Be wary of keeping combinations like this. Although there are a fair number of words with these prefixes, the odds aren't as good as you might expect, and if you don't manage to connect on a bingo, you'll be stuck with weak scoring letters. In longer words, the O enjoys mostly neutral relationships with other letters, with only a handful of letters exhibiting notable chemistry one way or the other. If you're looking to bingo with the O, the S, N, R, T, and C are decent partners for it, and the O much prefers the E to the other vowels. Although the O is mediocre as a bingo tile, it begins to gain usefulness as word length decreases. Recall that the E is easily the best bingo vowel. Over 11.5% of the individual letters in 7 and 8 letter words are E's. But as word length decreases, so too does the percentage of E's, down to a low of just over 9% in 3-letter words. Now look at the O. Only 6% of the letters in bingo length words are O's, but that percentage increases to 9% in 3-letter words, almost as high as the E. You'll very frequently use your O in shorter words of 3 to 5 letters in length to deploy the higher scoring consonants on your rack. Often, you'll be able to execute a 1-2 punch of scoring well with your O, saving your A's, E's, or I's for next turn, and bingoing with those vowels on your next move. Part of why the O is so effective as a scoring tile in shorter words is due to its very strong representation in 2-letter words with high scoring consonants. You can see that the O forms the most high scoring 2-letter words of any vowel. This means that high-scoring tiles often turn into damaging weapons for parallel plays alongside an O. Be very careful to avoid placing an O adjacent to a high-powered bonus square for this reason. Your opponent can easily parallel it for significant scores. If your opponent exposes an O in a spot like this, your first instinct should be to scan your rack for high-scoring tiles to take advantage of it yourself. Learning some more obscure, high-scoring, short O words will dramatically boost your ability to land powerful plays like this with your heavier tiles. Here's a list of some high-scoring, short O words that you might not know from everyday language that you'll get tremendous usage from in Scrabble. You may notice that there's a fair number of W's on this list. The O does mesh well with the W in shorter words, and other high-scoring consonants like the J, Z, H, and M get small boosts alongside the O in shorter words. Perhaps the most notable characteristic of the O's relationships with other letters in short words is its nearly complete absence of negative synergy with any of the high-scoring consonants. Only the Q showcases poor synergy with the O among these groups of letters in shorter words. Meanwhile, the vowels all perform slightly worse than usual in shorter words alongside an O. The O likes to be around consonants in shorter words. Finally, the O duplicates reasonably well in shorter words, but less successfully in longer words. With 8 O's in the set, duplication is a major concern. You might still be able to score decently with a surplus of O's, but bingoing will become extremely difficult. Okay, let's recap what we've learned about the O. The O is a decent but unspectacular bingo tile that gets overshadowed by the E, A, and I for this purpose. You'll play plenty of bingos with the O, but not as many as you will with these other vowels. As word length decreases, the O becomes more useful as a scoring tile, pairing well with several high-scoring consonants and outright clashing with almost none of them. This is in large part because the O forms so many two-letter words with high-scoring consonants, allowing more of these heavy letters to play in lucrative spots on the board than any other vowel. I'm giving the O 2.5 stars. The O is a very good scoring vowel and will allow you to get the most out of your heavy and power tiles much of the time. However, getting bingos down is a huge piece of playing high-level Scrabble. As your ability to find 7 and 8 letter words improves, you'll find yourself preferring the A, E, and I to the O, and when faced with similar candidate plays, you'll often pick the one that uses up the O and saves the other vowels for bingoing later. The O isn't a nuisance, but it's not a top-tier tile either.